Good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah, and it's time for Coffee and Crochet with Sarah. I've got my sweet tea with me today, but I also had a cup of coffee this morning, so I think we're good. I made a post the other day that said, I think my coffee pot's broken up with me because I've been dating sweet tea. So funny. Well, we have a lot to talk about today, but before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this live video is streamed over to our Posh Pooch Designs Facebook page live. And if you don't want to watch it right now, or maybe you don't have time, you can always catch it over on the YouTube channel. When we're finished here, I try to tweak it up a little bit and then shoot it over to my YouTube channel. All right, so we have a lot to talk about. We have a giveaway I'm going to tell you about for July, and I'm kind of excited about this one because I'm giving away a different bag. And then I want also, before we get started, I wanted to talk to you about my trip to the Dollar Tree, because I told you last week that I would check out to see if they had any of the crochet hooks and yarn at the Dollar Tree. We're also going to make a cute little turtle. Turtle. And then, of course, talk about what is baby week and what patterns did we do this last week. All right, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is our giveaway. And don't worry if some people come in late. I'll talk about a little bit at the end as well. So, are you ready to know what our July giveaway is? All righty, so this week we're giving away what I call the knapsack bag. And it's super cool because you can wear it like a knapsack. And it holds a lot. It's made out of a sturdy canvas. And we were going to put some of this style bag on the Etsy so people could buy them, but it just wasn't cost effective. These are a little more expensive to purchase. And so you'd end up having to pay like $30, and I don't want that. And so that's why we went with the other bag that was a little bit cheaper. But I have a couple of these, and so I thought I would give this one away. It's exactly the same as far as the picture on it. Coffee and Crochet with Sarah, with the coffee cup, and with the heart yarn with the crochet hook going through it. So you're going to get this bag, but you're also going to get some yarn. All right, so what we're going to be giving away is two of these. This is a white one, medium number 4 weight acrylic yarn, and a red one. And I've got this one open so I can show it to you. Let me pull this out. This is called a hank. And you're going to get 2 red ones and 2 white ones. And we decided to go with these colors because next week after baby week is our Christmas week, or Christmas in July. And so if you wanted to make something peppermint, you could, or you don't have to. So whether you celebrate Christmas or not and you win, you've still got some yarn that you can use because these are nice basic colors. All right, so in each of these 2 bags, you're going to get 14 ounces of each. 14 ounces of white, 14 ounces of red. It's a medium number 4 weight yarn, 100% acrylics, and it's made by Loops and Threads. All right, and that's a Michaels brand, and that's where I got these. And so you're going to get all of that yarn, and you'll always get a little something from me, and the knapsack Coffee and Crochet with Sarah bag. All right, now, every time I tell you what the giveaway is, and I tell you how to enter, I always get about 10 or 12 messages and emails saying, how do I enter? Okay, it's super duper easy. All you have to do to be entered in the giveaway is to comment here on the live video. All of you that have already clicked in and commented, you're already entered. And anybody who comments on the YouTube video of this video as well is entered. And then what we do is we take all those names, we throw them in that random generator, and whatever name comes up, you're the winner. And you have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to enter. Now, I used to say you can enter your name as much as you want to, but really we just enter each name one time. Alrighty. And so, but that's our giveaway for July. I think it's going to be a really cool giveaway. And to be honest with you, I wish I could have gotten some of those for myself. Alrighty. So, great luck to everybody. 2 weeks from today, I'll give out the name of the winner. And then I'll tell you how to contact me, all right? All right, now, before we forget, because I forgot last week, we need to clink in. Isn't this pretty? I love this cup. And I love it because I can use it for hot or cold. All right, everybody, clink in. Clinkety, clink, clink, clink. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go right over to my other camera and we're going to make that turtle because it is super easy and super duper cute. And the way that I designed it, I wanted you to also, in case you haven't figured out, the front and back loops. All right, so we're going to be doing that as well. So you just need 2 kinds of any medium weight colors. I'm using 2 shades of green. This one that I did for our demo is cotton. And the cotton, the light color is like a light variegated, light and white kind of lime. And then I just grabbed a darker one that I had for the detail. And remember a couple weeks ago, I said I was just struggling with the design. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. I had forgotten to add a tail. And so it was looking like this. And I thought, this just does not look like a turtle. What is wrong? I had forgotten his tail. So this turtle now has a tail. All right, you just need a small amount. You need a needle for weaving in ends and adding those definition lines. You need your scissors. We're going to be stitching with our H hook today, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. And then you're going to need a stitch marker. And that's because the center of the body, when we start, we're going to be stitching in continuous rounds. We're not going to join. All right. Now, if you don't have a stitch marker, you can always use another piece of yarn in a different color. It's just to mark the last stitch of each row. All right, so let's clear this out just a little bit. We're going to start with the lighter color. And I'm just using acrylic yarn that I have on hand. I think they're both probably like a Red Heart Super Saver or something like that. I don't have the labels anymore. All righty, so let's get started. We're going to begin with a slip knot and we're going to chain 3 chains. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so now we're going to stitch 6 single crochets and the second chain from the hook. 1, 2. When counting your chains, never ever count the one or the loop that's on your hook. So we're going to go in that second chain and we're going to stitch 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're not going to join. We're going to take our stitch marker and mark that stitch. That's our 6th stitch. All right, now if you're super brave and know you can count, then don't worry about the stitch marker. All right, now for row 2, we're going to place 2 single crochets in each of those 6. So we'll go in the first one, get in there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, move that out of the way there, 9, and 10. Then we'll slide that stitch marker out and stitch 2 more, which will give us 11 and 12. All right, so we're going to mark that last stitch again. There we go. All right, now for row 3, we're going to place 1 single crochet in the next single crochet, and then 2 in the next. 1 and 2. So that's 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll pull that stitch marker out and stitch 17 and 18. So for the first row we had 6, then we had 12, and now we have 18 single crochets. All right, now at this point you can leave your stitch marker out. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch in the back loops only. Now if you look around, you'll see that it has those loops that are on both sides. The loops on this row that are facing you are the front loops. The loops that are on the back side are the back loops. They're facing away. And we're going to be stitching this row in the back loops. So we're going to slip stitch in the next 3 single crochets. You go in, pull up a loop, then pull that loop through the loop on your hook. So there's 2 and 3. All right, let me get a little more yarn out here. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Then we need to chain 3, sorry. We're going to slip stitch in the second chain and then the third chain. There we go. And now we're going to slip stitch in the next 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then we'll repeat that. Chain 3, slip stitch in the second and third chain, and then slip stitch in the next 3. And also make sure you're stitching in the back loops. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And again, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the second and third, 1 and 2, and then slip stitch in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 2 legs and a tail. Remember, I forgot to add that tail. Just a little bit more yarn out. There we go. And we're going to do this 2 more times. So chain 3, slip stitch in the second and third chain, then slip stitch in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 3, slip stitch in the second and third, and then slip stitch in the next 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 4 legs and a tail, and we're going to do the head. And the head's just a little bit different. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to double crochet in the second chain. So we're going to loop over. I'm sorry, I think it's the third chain. Let me check my notes. Third chain. Let's get this right. We're going to double crochet in the third chain. So 1, 2, 3. And that forms the head. And then we'll single crochet in that last chain, not slip stitch, but single crochet, and then we'll join to that first slip stitch. And at this point, let me pull this out. Now we have the head, and I like to kind of take it and go like that with it. And we have our 4 legs and our tail. We're going to cut our yarn because we're done with our light color, and we're going to bring in our dark color. I think this would be pretty in all different colors, not just greens. All right, so we're going to join in our dark green. And now we're going to be working in those front loops that we skipped. And what I like to do is sort of push that forward, and there's our front loops right there. And all we're going to do is stitch a slip stitch in each of those front loops. So we'll go right in, oh here we go, right in that first front loop, pull a loop through, pull a loop through the loop on our hook. And I went in the wrong loop. Let's redo this because that was the loop of the legs. So we want to push that forward and go in this front loop. There we go. Got to go in the right front loop if you want it to look right. All right. So I'm going to push that forward. There I can see my loops. Sorry, I didn't mean to move my arm over there. All right, so we're going to go in and stitch a slip stitch in each of those front loops all the way around. Now I do recommend doing this just a little bit looser. And see how I'm pushing those down? That'll help me and you place those stitches in the right spot. Because remember, I began putting them in the wrong spot. And that won't work. All right, we're almost done. Finish getting around here and see how it's forming that little circle of the turtle shell. Slip stitch all the way around. All right, one more. Then we're going to join to this first slip stitch with a slip stitch. And we're going to cut our yarn, but we're going to leave about 12 to 14 inches because we're going to use that to make these lines on the back of our turtle's back. All right, so we'll go ahead and tie that off. All right, pull out those legs, and this, if you push it forward, gives it just a little bit of an arch in the turtle. All right, now we do have some ends to weave in, and we'll do those later, but I want to show you how to sew those lines on the back of the turtle. It's super easy. Thread that needle. Okay, now I'm going to go right in. Oops, don't want to take that leg with me. There we go. So here's our turtle back, and so here is the row where we did our first row of single crochet. So we're going to go right before that, in between row 1 and row 2, and we're first going to make those lines, and we're going to line those up, one with the head and one with each of the, not feet, the legs, going in and out there between row 1 and row 2. Okay, so you have one on the head, one on the foots, one on the legs, one on the tail, there we go. All right, so there's the straight lines that we made first. You'll have 6 if you line them up with the 4 legs, the tail, and the head. All right, so then the last thing we need to do is just go around, and we'll just go in and out where we made those lines going around. All righty, now if I'm going too fast, something that you can do is once I get this over on YouTube, you can watch it over there, and on YouTube you can slow it down, okay? So if I'm going too fast, you can certainly do that. Now we do have a lot of weaving in to do back here. We'll go ahead and clip that. Get that out of the way. I'm going to take all of these and put them under here because I'm not going to take the time to weave them in right now since we're doing this live. But there is your turtle. Here's his head. And if you want him to be kind of arched when you sew him on, you can push that out and sew that in place. Let's hide that string. Alrighty, so that's our little turtle. They're super cute. And I thought they were perfect because this week is baby week, and turtles look great on baby stuff. All right, let me look through here, see if you had any questions about that turtle real quick. He is super cute. He's super easy. And it's a really good study to do something small like that to learn where the front and back posts are. All right. So with each one of these little things that I like doing with you, I like to try to something that we can learn together, you know, like the front and back post. So those are super fun. All right. Are you ready to see what's new this week at Posh Bridge Designs? All right, let's talk crochet patterns and videos. Before we talk about baby week, let's talk about the things we did last week. Now, we did this pretty little doily, and it's just a really nice size. I did this one in patriotic colors to show you that it can be made in patriotic colors. And then I made this one to match my furniture and my outdoor set. And I'm actually going to put a plant on this for the center of my table. I think it's going to look really pretty. And so that's the pretty little coaster. It's super easy. It's a granny style. It's not exactly a granny square, of course. And it has like a nice little trim on the edge. This is a pattern you can find on the blog, on Ravelry, and a video on YouTube. And of course, I always, if you're ever wondering how to find them, when I put this over on YouTube, I always add the link, and you'll find it up at the top. It's actually be over there, up at the top, and you can click that link as well. Okay, so that's the pretty little coaster. And I have loved seeing the pictures that y'all have been making of these. And Kimberly, she's made some really cute ones. And I really love it when y'all add yellow. Because you know that's my favorite color. All right, the other thing we did is the double no trouble pot holders. And of course, I did one in patriotic colors. And then this one is in beiges and browns to match my kitchen. My kitchen is all coffee stuff. I bet that surprises you, doesn't it? I have all kinds of coffee stuff in my kitchen. And we called these the double no trouble because they're stitched tightly. You use two of them. Let me pull this. There's two of the pot holders, and then we sewed them together. And they're made out of cotton. And I tell you over and over, don't use acrylic for something that you're going to put something hot on, because acrylic burns. Okay, and if you're just going to make these for decoration, okay, make them out of acrylic. It doesn't matter. But if you're going to actually use them, make them out of cotton or some some type or of yarn or fiber that's not going to burn. And I absolutely love these because they're thick and they're cute. All right, so that's our double no trouble pot holders. And these are great gifts. If you like to put together a basket for someone, you know, that's newly married or newly moving out on their own, maybe going off to college, you're going to have a kitchen for the first time or whatever. And, you know, for housewarming gifts, maybe someone just bought a brand new house and you want to give them a basket of gifts. Making some of these along with some washcloths and some other kitchen things and getting them some kitchen supplies is a great gift. I remember when my husband and I bought our first house many years ago. We lived in Rapid City, South Dakota. He was stationed at Ellsworth. A friend of mine brought over a bucket, and the bucket had a mop in it and a bunch of towels, and then none of them were crocheted, and cleaning supplies, but I just loved it so much. She was a great friend, and it's kind of neat because I'm still in contact with her after all these years, because her husband was ex-military, is ex-military as well. Rita says she's made some. Yes, and listen, I love seeing them. I love seeing your pictures. And so, if you make any of these items, or even somebody else's items, feel free to post pictures on the PPD, which stands for Posh Boosh Designs, Puppy Love Crochet Group. Okay? I love seeing your pictures. Although I really, really love seeing ones you made from my patterns. All right, now, so I've gotten a lot of questions about what is Baby Week. And all it is I usually set aside the first week of July. Cindy says Ellsworth is practically in her backyard. Oh, you live in South Dakota. That's right. Or no, you don't. You live in South Dakota. That's right. She won our gift, and I remember because I sent it to her. Box Elder, right? We loved living in Rapid City. We were all over those Black Hills. We camped, we fished, but we had so much fun. The kids were little. Anyway, back to baby week. All right, so all we're doing is the first month of July, I always set aside to release some new baby patterns. And so yesterday, we released this one. This is our Berry Sweet baby hat. And it's in 3 sizes. This is a preemie. This is a newborn, and this is a 3 months. And the idea behind the baby patterns for the first week of July is baby patterns that you can whip up and give as gifts. And so we've got 4 more. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We've got 3 more we're going to do. We're not doing one today, and that's why I thought the turtle was perfect, because you know what? You could put that turtle right on those hats and it would look absolutely adorable. How about this one? Yeah. So the Berry Sweet baby hat was one yesterday. I guess the turtle's for today. And then we have a bib. We have some scratch mitts. And then on Friday, I have a new baby blanket pattern we're going to put out there. So we're gonna do the idea behind the baby blanket pattern was someone asked me for a smaller pattern for a preemie. And so I got to looking at sizes and things. And so I'm going to give you the multiples so that you can make it in a preemie or a stroller or a regular size baby pattern. And it's a really simple pattern, and it's really simple to adjust. So I'm really looking forward to that. And that's on Friday. So that's what baby week is. Then the next week, the second week of July, is Christmas week. Christmas in July. So we have a few patterns we're going to do that week as well. Then the next week is granddaughter and grandson week, because my grandkids will be here for a week. Actually, they're coming for a week with their folks, and then their folks are going home, and then they're leaving them here for another week. So we'll have them for 2 weeks. So that's going to be super duper fun. All right, so that was our patterns. I keep calling it coaster. Pretty little doily, double no trouble pot holders, and the turtle for today. And of course, our Berry Sweet baby hats. All right, now I wanted to get back to the question real quick about the yarn and the crochet hooks at the Dollar Tree. I told you I'd get back to you. Okay, so at my Dollar Tree, they had a bin that had a bunch of yarn that was empty, and they didn't have any of the crochet hooks, but I noticed there were some hooks up above where they were hung that was empty. So I didn't get to find those to see if they're any good, and I'll look again. The other bin was filled with Premier yarn. And if you got some of those dollar yarns that were from Premier, that's really good acrylic yarn. Premier, you know, I love a Premier brand, and it's one of my favorites, actually. And they're also really quick to get the products to you when you order online. So, but the other one, of course, that one was empty, and so I didn't get any of those either. But the other one we located was the London K yarn. Boy, these are really bright, aren't they? Here's a blue one. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put them over here real quick so you can see them. I don't know why they're coming out so bright. I guess they're bright on there too. Okay, these are London K yarns, and London K is known for her yarn bombing. Okay, they're number 6, they're acrylic, and you only get about 1.5 ounces, maybe I think it's 1.4, yeah, on these, but they're super fun yarns to play with. And if you like to do any yarn bombing or things that are going to be outside, or even, I mean, you can make these for inside as well. But I just picked up one of each of these. I think I've got a couple more of these also. But they're $1 a piece, and they're certainly worth it. It's good yarn. They're from Lion Brand. Can you see that? There you go. And so that's what I found there. Now, I do go to Dollar Tree about probably once a month, and because I have another thing I like to do, and that's crossword puzzles. sometimes I like to go out and get my 15 minutes of sun, and I like to work on a crossword puzzle while I'm out there. And so I'll be checking again. But if you got a hold of some of these yarns, these are good yarns. If you got some of the Premier yarns, those are good yarns as well. So check out your local dollar. It's Dollar Tree, not Dollar General. It's Dollar Tree. Okay? So I told you we had a lot to do today. The last thing before we go, don't forget about our giveaway. Okay? I love this bag. I really want to keep it for myself. Don't worry, I've got one for me. Alrighty, well, I'm going to let you go on that note. And remember, one more thing. Choose joy and stay safe. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.